Folks, we're walking at Governor's Island, the place where future governors of Wisconsin fish. Anyways, we're walking just towards the fishing spot. I'm going to see if someone's taken it. If not, I am going to fish there. It's a lovely walking path, and hopefully I can get the spot I want. The spot I want is actually a spot kind of like on a peninsula. It's kind of like where the shallow waters of a bay meets the deep waters off Governor's Island. The depth off Governor's Island drops off extremely fast, and that makes it a very, very good point to fish, much like Picnic Point and Second Point. Governor's Island is on the exact opposite side of the lake as campus, so you will want a bus or get a car if you're a student to fish this place. But there's several spots to fish around the island. I'm just going for my favorite one. The point at Governor's Island. The bay is over there, the shallow bay, and the deep lake is over here. So we're in the middle of all this. It's a little more windy than I thought. I have small baits on, so if a small fish bites it, I'm not really sure if I could tell or not. Hopefully I can get something here today. I have several different baits I want to try out, including some new crankbaits. The new blade baits have not come in yet. I just wish it wasn't windy out on the lake. It's a lot more windy here than elsewhere. Maybe I chose the wrong place today, but I hope not. There's some walleye, fish of death, and a bass around here, hopefully. But the rough waters might discourage them from biting. I might want to try the shallow bay sometime. Also trying to get just a rock bass or two to maybe bite my lures so I can have some cut bait to fish regato fish, because I know they're around here as well. I think I got a fish on this pole. That's a fish. That is not just current. I don't know what that is, but it is a fish. Let's see what kind of fish this is. Is it a gato? Is it a bullhead? Is it it's a drum. Freshwater drum. Lake Mendota, Governor's Island. First fish of the day. I actually had quite a few hookups actually, but they all fell off. But this is the first one, freshwater drum. Governor's Island, Governor's Island. Too big for me to cut up right now, but I will take it, a freshwater drum. Freshwater drum, nice sheephead off of Governor's Island. First fish of the day. I had two other big smallies on hookups, but they fell off. Freshwater drum. All right, let's get this drum bud back in the water here. See if it can make it through the corridor of death. Oh, it's getting bashed. Nope, I think it's navigating. Yep. It's navigating and it's past the corridor of doom and back into the lake. That was a nice first fish. The sheep's head, but I'm looking for a lot more than a sheep's head. Hopefully, I've had actually two smallies on the hook, but they just fell off. And that usually doesn't happen on my treble hooks. So, oh, there's another one. Oh, it is like Smalley Haven today. Oh, that's a small one though. It's a small one, it's a small one, it's a small one. But it is a smallie, I believe. Yep, smallmouth bass. Not like a horribly small one, but a smallmouth bass. They are hitting it up today. Hitting it up today. Smallmouth bass. Smallmouth bass. Smallmouth bass. These are hitting like crazy today. That's the third hit I've had today. But the first one I bought in is probably the smallest of the three though, unfortunately. Smallmouth bass. All right, second fish of the day, smallie. Better than a drum, I guess. Here you go, smallie. Oh, under that rock it goes. Under that rock it goes. Seems like the crankbaits are definitely working today. They hitting pretty hard. It looks like the smaller crankbaits are actually better. I mean, I think they'll hit any crankbait, but I think the smaller ones are better because like the big ones and the small ones will bite them. So I'm gonna definitely try a variety of crankbaits. Right now I'm using the Chartiste. My last two bites have been on the Chartiste. The first one was on the bigger crankbait, but I lost that crankbait because there's some kind of weird snag out there. Didn't really expect, I mean, I know there's rocks out there, but I didn't really expect any of my cranks to actually snag. But they are definitely hitting on the random ass crankbaits today. All right, I got another fish on the pole. Yep, it's still on. I thought it was off for a while. This one is mightier than the other ones, but I think it's another drum, but it is a bigger fish. That I can definitely tell. It's not extremely mighty, but it is a mightier fish. I think it's probably a drum, maybe a gato. Oh, it's another drum. Yep, it's a lot of these here. Definitely a lot of drums here, but this one is bigger. This one's quite a hell of a lot bigger, actually. That's a nice one, actually. Probably like 3, 4, well, maybe like 3 pounds. 3 pound drum. Definitely nice fish. Nothing to brag about though. Freshwater drum. It's a freshwater drum. 2 or 3 pounds. Nicer than the last one, but still just a drum. Well, let's try to catch a bigger but nicer fish. Bigger fish, so I gotta let it go in the deeper water. There you go, drum. There you go. Off it goes. Although I've caught 2 drums on the 4 hooks, I have gotten some bait stolen from the 4s by a fish that bit, and I didn't really notice it. So I switched on a smaller hook on one of the poles. I do want a bluegill for cut bait. So if a rock bass or a small rock bass or a bluegill is biting, I want to get it. The only way I'm going to do that for smaller fish if I switch on a smaller hook. So that's what I'm doing right now. I think I got another fish. I think it's another drum. There's like, this place is full of them here. It doesn't surface, it doesn't jump. Probably a drum. I think it is. I just saw it kind of being dragged up. Pretty sure it's a drum. Yep. Freshwater drum, another one. Man, it looks like I'm going to have to actually get some cut bait if I want to get rid of these or catch a bigger one. Because this place is full of drums. Full of freshwater drums. I'm having trouble removing the hook from the drum. That's probably going to be my cut bait. But something nearly pulled this pole in the water. It's probably just another drum. This is on the smaller hook. Yeah, it's another drum. There's too many of these here. I mean, they are pretty big. Given the fact that these things are pretty big. This is another pretty big one. It's probably like 3 or 4 pounds. The one that's stuck is a smaller, so this one's gonna get to go. That one's gonna be my cut bait. Caught enough of these stupid things, so really don't want to catch any more. So I'm gonna use cut bait, and since that guy's kind of bloody anyways and got deep hooked, it's gonna be cut bait. But this one, gonna get to go because it's pretty big. It's about as big as that last one I caught. Another freshwater drum. All right, drum. Back in the frickin' water you go. See you, drum. All right, got a piece of the smaller drum on. Gonna launch it out into the abyss, and hopefully we get a very gato-ish fish. I think I'm gonna want it out a little further, so I'm gonna jump on the rock here and cast. Usually wouldn't want to because it's like kind of slippage and chance for injury and stuff, but we got a good piece of bait here. It took me a long time to cut the drum, so we're gonna cast out and hope for a very big gato-ish fish. There are some monsters in the north side of Mendota here, so definitely looking to get a big monster. That's fine. All right, finally, it took a while for me to cut up that drum. It's dead anyway, so not too bad to use him for cut bait. Might as well use him for something if he's gonna die. He's bleeding and dying anyway, so now he's on the end of my other 2 poles, and hopefully he'll catch me a big gato fish. They're bloody, and gato fish like it. I've caught plenty of catfish in Lake Mendota. All right, I think I got something. Finally. Oh, it's tugging. It doesn't feel like it's very big, but it's fighting. It's fighting. Oh, it's a walleye. Finally, the wallies start hitting. I lost the big smallmouth, but I got myself a walleye. Nice little walleye here. Awesome, awesome fish. Great fish. Walleye right there. Yes, the sun is behind me, so we're gonna turn this way, but we got a walleye. Nice little wally off of Governor's Island. Very cool, very cool. Guys, another day, we're back at Governor's Island. The wind is a little calmer than yesterday, so the waves aren't quite as bad. And although I did catch quite a few fish yesterday, mostly drum, I lost several smallies as well. So I'm here with new blade baits from Amazon, and hopefully we can actually catch a big fish. You know, before I even can get anything on, there's a fish on, and is it a drum? It feels like really powerful to be a drum. Because like drums do fight pretty hard, but yeah, it's a drum, it's just a bigger one. Oh yeah, that's a decent sized drum. I'm gonna have to bring it around. That's a good like 3 pound, 4 pound drum. Gonna have to bring it around so I can actually land it. This is too big for me to use as bait. Way too big for me to use as bait. I'm definitely looking for smaller drums. And this is a good 3 pounder. It would be hell to catch. It definitely would be hard to cut up. So we're bringing it around the rock end. And look at that drum. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. I'm so glad it didn't swallow. Because if it swallowed that bait, I'd be in trouble. Look at that. It's a good 2-3 pounder. Very big fish. Well, not a really big fish, but a decent fish for the first fish. We're gonna let this guy go. Walk over to this other cove that's like right here because it's access to deeper water, and a big fish like this can swim happily home. Just gonna, yeah, there you go, fish. Oh, that's not happy. Just gotta, I think I need to, there you go, it's got turned back, there you go, there's the fish. Now it's waddling off, there you go, that's what we like. All right, we got this new blade bait from Amazon. Golden blade bait, got like 10 of these for 12 bucks. Pretty small. I'm actually hoping to catch a rock bass with either these blade baits or my actual just like small lures, because I actually really need some cut bait, and I'm not going to use walleye or bass as cut bait, so I need to get something like that's rock bassy or a bluegill, so I'm using tiny hooks. That's why I'm using tiny hooks, folks. Rock bass or bluegill is kind of like something I'm hoping for here for some cut bait. And with this one, of course, the blade bait, definitely hoping for a much better fish. Well, looks like the bigger pole picked up another fish. I don't think it's quite as big as the other one, but I think no, it might be as big as the other one. It feels like a drum though. I don't know if to use it as cut bait or just to let it go, because I do need some cut bait, but this is also not a small drum. I wish there were smaller ones here. Don't like cutting up bigger drum because it's such a hassle. I'm not going to use this guy. This guy's big. This guy's bigger than the one I cut up yesterday. But a freshwater drum. It's the only things I seem to be able to catch now, these freshwater drums. Alright, see you, drum. That's the main problem using worms around here. There's too many of those things. There's those things around, nothing else can actually hit worms. Because those things will get your worms before anything else can hit them. I really could use some cut bait. Still got that drum under that drum that I got yesterday still under that rock, but it's been one day in this water. Water is only about 60 degrees, but I don't really want to use like old bait because it doesn't work as well as fresh. But I need to catch like a kind of a small drum in order for this to actually work. Been nothing but drums so far. Even the worm under bobber here didn't work. The waves are pretty strong, but like there's been a lot of drum bites, but nothing else besides drum bites. Can't get a small fish for bait, so I'm still using worms. Even if I catch a small freshwater drum, that would be a win, because I could just cut that for bait. All right, as the day winds down, I finally got one. Looks like a decent one. I think it's a wally. At this time of the day, it almost has to be a walleye. Oh, it's not a decent one. Is that a drum? No, it is indeed a better fish. A walleye. About the same size as the one I caught yesterday. But it's a slightly bigger walleye. Green in color, so it's not a sauger. I think it's a walleye. All right. Hopefully the wallies will actually start hitting. As always, we're going to release our fish over here because this is a better area for fish release. There you go, walleye. There it is, nicely swimming off. All right, a Walter. Now 3 fish today, but I mean, still haven't gotten the big ones I want. I don't think my baits are big enough for a gato fish. I would actually need like some kind of cut bait for a gato, I think. But at least the Walters are biting, and I should get a couple more of them soon. All right, I think I got something. That feels extremely gato. It doesn't feel extremely heavy, but it feels excessively gato. So I think you guys know what that is, right? It feels gato and it pulls hard. It's a gato fish. Oh my God. Oh, is that a gato fish? Gato fish usually don't jump that way. And that just jumped. So I'm not really sure if that is a gato fish, but it's a worm. But if it's a northern pike, it's one hell of a pike if it's a northern. It's definitely taking a lot. Gato fish don't usually do that, but this could just be one of the rare gatos. I think it is one. I think it's a gato though. It doesn't really look like a pike. Yeah, it's a gato. But it's a fighting gato here. All right, so we got smallies, walleyes, and gatos. Is that a gato? Is that just a giant bowfin? Nope, it's a gato. I think it's a gato. Oh, this is a muskie. Nah, it's a catfish. Bringing him in will be significantly more difficult. Yeah, it's definitely a gato fish because the rocks. Don't want to kill him, but got to bring him in somehow. There's a lot of gatos here. Lot of gatos here. All right, waiting this long has paid off with the cold winds. It's not a huge gato fish, but it is a gato fish. All right, I got to figure out how to bring him in now. Governor's Island is always kind of a challenge. It's not a big, like I said, it's not huge. Probably only like, probably like 5 pounds or so, but it's a fighter, and I got to figure out how to bring him in. Still applying a decent amount of pressure. Test out my new weight as well. Just make sure I don't slip up and fall in the lake. It's not too deep here, so I wouldn't die or anything, but still not a good thing if I fall in the lake right now. Definitely not good if I fall in the lake. All right, tricky, tricky, tricky. Very tricky in terms of how to land this big gato fish here. Got to get my net, I guess. But you're actually quite a ways away from the gato fish, but you do need the net. Yeah, it's big and it's gato and it's still fighting. Just can't let it cut the string on the rocks. All right, gato fish. Time to come in. Did it just get me stuck on a rock or something? I think it just did. No, it's right there. No, I guess I don't really... It did get me stuck on a rock. I'm twisting around a little bit, but... Okay, I got it free, I think. Now, this is kind of complex because it's stuck as well, and it's dark, so I can't see it. Like, I can see it, it just... Oh, it's under this rock. Okay, I got it out. There we go. Gato fish. I guess I don't really need the net. It's too rocky here to make use of it, but gato fish. Probably like 7-8 pounds. A little bit bigger than I first thought, but not by far a big fish. Not really a big Mendota gato fish, but a decent gato. Come on, gato. You know you want a gato home, so come here, let me get a picture of you, and then we can talk about letting you go. There we go. 8.5 pounds, channel gato fish. Not the most gato I've caught in Lake Mendota, but a nice fish. Stay here for a little while longer to see if we can get more gato-ish fish. All right, gato fish. Now let you go over here somewhere. I just can't die myself while going over here and getting you to the deeper water. You're by far the biggest fish I've caught here so far. So there you go. Nice catfish. Nice catfish. All right. I'm gonna try to pick up one more gato fish or a couple more walleye before I head in. But that was a good catch. But only 8 pounds though. Only really 8 pounds. Definitely not the biggest gato I've caught in Mendota. I've caught one over twice that size in Lake Mendota. And there are some real monsters on the north side here. The best place to catch gatos is not here though. It is definitely the bridge place. But there are all sorts of fish here, and I do catch more other fish here. So I'm gonna use the blade bait, maybe the chartreuse, and see if I can get a walleye. All right, I got another one. All right, on this pole. I'm pretty sure it's a walleye. Pretty sure it's a walleye. Or it's a drum or something. Yep, it's a walleye. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, walleye do bite very well at night. Again on the chartreuse bait. The blade baits don't really seem to work here. This one's even a little bigger than the last one I got, but a walleye, probably like 15 inches or so. Nice walleye here. Check this out. It's a very nice 15 incher. Very nice fish, much bigger than the one I caught yesterday. A nice walleye. All right, walleye, off you go. Walleys are biting pretty fierce after dark. Definitely biting pretty fierce after dark. Nice little walleye. Last worm and fish of the night on the big pole, probably. I think it's a drum. By the way it's fighting, it's almost certainly a drum, but it's probably a fairly large one. because this is a bigger hook I put the worm on. Could be a gato, I guess, but I'm pretty certain it's a drum. Yep, decent sized freshwater drum, probably another 2-3 pounds. There's a lot of these bigger ones here, and it's gonna be the last fish of the night, so I guess it's cool. Very cool. Last fish of the night. Not too big, but I'll take it. I was hoping for a gato fish, but wouldn't you know it, a drum took the worm. I can't really lift it with a pole. I guess I have to let it go over here. You know, when these drums start getting big enough to actually take some drag, you know they're at least like 2 or 3 pounds. So a lot of good drum here. A lot of good freshy drums here. Decent amount of gatos, I guess. Decent amount of gato fish. But yeah, if you don't have cut bait, you're probably just gonna get a bunch of these. Because if you don't have cut bait, you're gonna be using worms for gato fish, and there's so many of these things here that you're not gonna be able to get too much catfish. There you go, see that? Freshwater drum, freshwater drum. Okay, freshwater drum, you get to go. See ya. All right, that's the last fish release. Well, that was fun today. Got my gato fish, got 2 walleye, 20 drums, and next time I'm definitely gonna go on the other side of Lake Mendota, get a couple of bluegill or something, and then bring it here so I can actually get cut bait all day and not get a bunch of drums. All right, hope you had fun in this episode. I will see you again on the next fishing adventure. Check out my social media, it's in the description.